All right. We're going to contemplate the abdomen below the sternum. Okay? And we're going to put our hands like this. And if it becomes tedious to keep him like this, you can touch your lap. But the goal is that the palms are pointing the center of the abdomen, the dantian area. Okay? And you use your imagination. Now, I'm going to make example. I see Michaela is like this. Your palms are completely up. We want the line to go towards the dantian, so it's like this. Okay? So your hands point towards the center of your abdomen. And you think golden light. Do you remember a laughing trip you had recently or far ago? Big laughing trip that you're just laughing and laughing and laughing. That laughing trip is still in there somewhere. The same way that your traumas carry you, your laughing trips, your great moments of joy, still there. So you just think, okay, joy, happy. I know you remember the heartbreaks, but do you remember falling in love, being so happy? Feeling cared for, feeling valued by another? It's still there. Just feel it. There's love. There's a ton of good things. There's joy and there's love inside me. Think about another thing. Something that you're proud of yourself. That is not the ego pride that gets broken. That's the good pride. We have a bad pride and a good pride. The good pride is I'm proud of myself. I'm satisfied for what I've done. The good pride feels like some form of gratitude for yourself when you've done a good job. You've helped people sometimes and they said thank you. If people said thank you to you, you've done something good. There has to be good moments of pride, of real satisfaction that you're glad you've done it. You've helped around, you've been there for someone else. You've built something that you're satisfied with your own work. You'll feel it. I'm proud of myself. So the image is golden light everywhere inside, but it's built with these beautiful feelings. So it's okay to take the joy you got from others or the love you got from others, but I want you to take the joy and the love you have for yourself, for no other reason that you're there for yourself. And the energy is becoming quite strong between your palms and your dantian, your abdomen inside. I say dantian in Chinese just because I'm used to it. Because what we're doing now is I learned from my training as a Taoist. Yeah, never told you I'm a Taoist master, whatever. Another paper, doesn't matter. Okay, so just golden light inside, and there's joy and there's love, and it's yours. And there's your satisfaction, your gratitude to yourself. Okay, that's the good pride. I am proud of myself. I've done good. Sometimes I have not done good, but there are other times I have done good, and I'm proud of that. And it can be just a kind friend. Just being there, and if people like to have you around, you can be proud of yourself. You're doing good. If you're the party person, you're the party girl, you're the party guy, and if this is the joy you bring, then be proud of what you bring, and care for your liver in the process. All of that is inside you. If you want a Sanskrit city, it's Swasthya. Self-contained. Swasthya. 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 We'll write it later. I am self-contained. Swasthya means to be contained within myself. And when you do swasthya, you care for yourself, your joy, your love, your bliss, your satisfaction, your goodness, and you're good with yourself. Now you rest the hands on your lap, you relax. Relax the energy practice. I would even say put your hands down, put them not pointing. Swasthya. We continue the contemplation, but soft, You are complete. You exist for yourself, within yourself. You're not dependent on others. It's great to have a relationship with others. It's not a dependence. It's interrelationship, interaction. As a society, we need the others, and the others need us. We're all weaved together. So relationship with others is good, but you as a being are complete. There is no soulmate. The concept of soulmate does not exist. There's no concept of a part of your soul will be complete when you meet the perfect soulmate. That's bullshit. There's just people you really get along with, and you can call them how you want, okay? But you are complete as a soul. You are absolutely filled with everything you need to exist inside. It's just a question of finding it inside. And then you rejoice of your relationship with others, but you are complete. Swasthya. I am complete. Autonomous, responsible, complete. Swasthya. Deep breath. And relax. So that is the practice opposite of Visantara. It's just go and sum up the positive in you. And that part with the hands, the energy work, did you feel the pressure, the intense pressure in the palms? You replenish with yourself because you are complete. You replenish yourself like that. So we say you're complete. It doesn't mean you have everything you need inside. You are complete, but part of what you need is also in the rest of the universe. It's flowing through others sometimes. You are complete as an autonomous being. But then in terms of resource, those resources can be inside you or outside. Okay, you can be complete. Sometimes the hamburger is inside your belly, and sometimes it's in front of you in your plate. The resources are also outside. What is complete inside you is the being, the entity, with a correct mind, with a heart and a body, and a soul, of course. That's what we mean that you are complete. It is not accurate to say you have everything you need inside you. In terms of machinery, of mechanics, of how you're built as a human, yes. But you don't have everything you need inside you in terms of resource that flows in, out. Food, air, water, love, joy, elements, faith, kanakayota, all the stuff. So you say, I have everything I need inside me. No, I am complete. It's important in the New Age world to make that distinction. Because then there's some Buddhists who are completely self-centered, like I have everything I need inside. And they are only into their own accomplishment and enlightenment. So there's no compassion there. There's self-love, that's true. But there's no compassion, because compassion is about interaction. Although, your compassion is incomplete if it does not include yourself. If you have compassion for another and you sacrifice some of the resource that you can't really afford, and you become A martyr, no, what is a state of sacrifice, you know? The experience of living in a state of sacrifice. You sacrifice yourself for another. That's an act of kindness, but it is not absolute compassion, because compassion is also compassionate for yourself. But if your compassion is only about you, it's not compassion. It's self-love or narcissism. We'll study case by case, right? So you are complete as a being, but everything you need is not necessarily inside you. It's in your environment. So your food, your water, your air. Like, I have everything I need. Take a deep breath. Right there, you had to breathe, you know. It came from the outside. It is such at the physical level, it is also like that in the other plane. Emotionally, mentally, at the vital level, as a soul. Yeah. So we're in this symbiotic relationship? Symbiosis. Yeah. With our immediate environment and, you know, in a way with the whole of the world. It's good to feel that. Now, if you go through a crisis in your life, small crisis, big crisis, an addiction, conflict with another, and instead of doing personal growth, you say, fuck that, okay. I'm complete, I have all the joy I need, you know, and you use that technique to flee the fact that you're sad about the cry. Don't use swasthya as a denial. Okay, it's just a little trick. Because remember, if you don't go through the emotional part and understand your ego and your human, it will impose itself on you. It will crash you. You'll have one of those terrible evenings of profound hatred or abandonment or loneliness. Sometimes you have these crises and you're lying in bed next to your lover and you're still in a terrible state of loneliness because it has nothing to do with if the other's there or not. It has to do with me right now. I'm fucking empty. What's wrong? So when these moments happen, do personal growth. But after a good release, swasthya. It's like the healing balm on the wound, you know. Can you make a bar and write swasthya? Just so we can have those who want to have it. You wrote it online, I imagine, swasthya? Can you? All right. Good. All right, see it right there. Swasthya. Self-contained. That's literally, I'm contained with it myself, which is kind of weird. That basically means I'm complete in a mechanical way. T-H-Y-A. There's a H after a T. Okay, is there an H after a T?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. I go by sound, you know. When you write it in Devanagari is the Sanskrit writing, there's no H. There's no T either. There's no Y. It's different letters. It's a completely different way of thinking and writing, of conveying sound and phonetics. But yeah, this is how we Romanize Sanskrit. We use Sanskrit because of this connection with the sound. And swasthya is literally the opposite or the complementary of the Visantara. Go to hell, go to heavens. But heavens is right here. Heavens is right here. Hell too, it's right here. Good. And that was my class on swasthya. Still have a few minutes to cover. Let's find something to say. There's a sutra, Buddhist sutra, and Jose Luis says that he listens to sutras, and there's one of the sign of some bodhisattvas that have unimpeded speech.
The unimpeded speech.
Yeah.
The power of unimpeded speech.
Yeah. So basically, they always have something to say. Apparently, I'm like that. So I did not know what was going to teach this entire week, seminar, this entire weekend, until I sat here and looked at the people. Okay, take a breath. I asked you to breathe because I still didn't know what to say. So, and then I started. And I've been just doing that since. And it all follows, right? Super clear. And I never prepare a class. I never prepare my courses. If I have a technique like Kuji-in, I have to print papers. If there's something specific, I might prepare a bit. But, I just print the paper. I don't prepare what I'm going to say. I say, okay, let's talk about that topic. I just go. I can go for 9 days. I used to do 9-day seminar. It was fun, but I can't really... I'm not comfortable now doing that for many reasons. It was tiring. Yeah, just this full transmigration. I'm looking at you and I become a bit you. I feel your emotions with you just a bit. Most of you is you, but I'm with you living all this. So at the end, I'm super sensitive. Like, let's keep it easy, right? So, considering that I was done with Swasthya and I said, okay, I don't know what to say next, I'll talk about the fact that I always find something to say, which I found, which is explaining that. You see? So cool. Work. Gotta work. I understand.
Well, this is Renee. How can I help you?
It's life. Need to pay your bills. I get that. I really don't like when there's cell phones that ring to disturb the class, but I also understand that our people that their life is function, they can be here because of this dynamic. So you put the vibration, stay close to the door, or like what she does is super respectful. She goes, she works, and she comes back, and it's cool. So as long as it's respectful, I understand. We once lived in a world like my masters. If we had a watch, they were angry at us. Don't you dare walk in a temple with technology, and we're not going to tell you when you get out. It might be 5 days. You don't know. You can't plan your life. You can't call your friends. You can't, reserve a restaurant or pay your bill. No, you're at the temple. You had to take care of your shit before. That's how I was trained in the sadhu and very Brahmanical way. And I still do it somewhat, but I accept that I was born in a world where we're connected. And if a theory of enlightenment applies to all people, then it cannot require these people to be isolated in a temple with no relationship and no possessions, no house, no car, no wealth, and just be monks. If you believe that enlightenment is for everyone, that your system of thought, your system of teaching cannot be exclusive to people who isolate in temples, because then it's the end of humanity. If you believe everyone can enlighten, but it requires you to be dedicated, fully single, ascetic, that means in 25 years there's no more humanity. No babies means no next generation, and we're all dead. Do you understand? So a teaching of enlightenment that pretends to be for all, that really wants to say everyone can do it, cannot be exclusive to very rare and specific conditions. Or else, your theory of enlightenment, your principles, your philosophy, your techniques are not for all. They're for an exclusive bunch. And sometimes you'll be trapped in a mind game that it's for the elite. Huh? You heard about that? Oh no, this is for like those who can't, like the elite. I will admit that the things I teach are not for everyone. Whoever does not have the intellectual capacity to understand the philosophy, sometimes it's complex. Sometimes it goes far. Most of it, the average schmuck of today, you, me, the other, we can understand. Some can't. So it is what it is. So what I teach is not for everyone. It's for almost everyone. I accept that. The handicap, mentally or physically, sometimes can have challenge. Those who are too old, those who are too young, if you're not at least a teenager, if you don't have the maturity to understand topics like relationships, sexuality, heartbreak, I mean, some of them, it's like, what is he talking about, right? So, the Mahariya is not for everyone. It's for the great majority. Okay? And it is what it is. In a religious cult, there's a lie That is, the guru's always right. The master's always right. So this is something that we have to absolutely avoid in our tradition, in the Manjriya. Now, it's kind of confusing because from your point of view, you're listening to me and everything I said made sense for you and it guided you to even almost supernatural experiences. And everything I said was so revealing that you're going to be tempted to think that everything I say is accurate. Because I will, over a period of time, say an awful lot of accurate things. Okay? It doesn't mean that I'm always right. So we have to absolutely avoid this kind of behavior, this reflex, which is very religious, that the guru's always right, that the master has authority and that he's always right. We said it, or Maha said it, that's it, fuck that. I teach you that I guide you through experiences so you can attempt it for yourself and see for yourself what it brings you. The teaching is right because you practiced it and it gave you a result. So it has nothing to do with the fact that I said it. Although I'm extremely proud of myself as a person for bringing that wisdom. I'm proud of my part. I'm proud of you for doing your practice. I'm not giving myself the credibility for your work. Do you understand that? So I'm talking to my teachers, the teachers that are here that will just remember that. Be satisfied of your share. If you hadn't given the classes, they would know. But you are not like, look how good you are. That's because I taught you. Oh my God. You see, there are teachers who do that. There are priests, there are people in religions like, see how happy you are? That's because you follow my class. Oh, you just gave yourself credit for their work. It doesn't work. You have credibility for what you teach. You play a role. The other gets the benefits of their application. Okay? So, first thing in a cult, a sect, too controlling religious system is the guru's always right. The master said it and it's the law. Get rid of that. Experience what the teacher says and discover the results and make up your own mind. And that's how the Manjriya functions. Freedom is absolute. You cannot experience enlightenment if your mind does not belong to you. It won't work. You get that? Second flaw of cults and sects. We were chosen. You get that? Like, we are chosen. So, typical Christian, Catholic. Those who are not Catholic go to hell. The vegan, those who eat meat, are wrong, are bad people. Bad people. All these cults and their sects, like, but we are chosen by God. Like, basically, we feel so minuscule that we need to feel important, that we'll say yes to anyone who will say, you are chosen. I'm chosen for what? Doesn't matter, you are chosen. Okay? No, you feel lonely. You're not chosen. You feel bored. You feel worthless. That's why you're tempted to appreciate those who give you this kind of attention. So we have to avoid that in the Manjriya, absolutely, because we don't want to become a cult. We want to remain a school of philosophy. And the cornerstone is freedom, and you're not free when you depend from external validation. And to be chosen is external validation. If your philosophy enlightenment says that it's for everyone, then everyone, including those who are not following Manjriya, can enlighten. You have to believe in their capacities. There are a lot of great masters. Okay? Which leads us to the third flaw of cults. We're the elite. We're the only one with that truth. We're the best of the best. Now that's touchy, because a lot of people who study with me have studied with 5, 10 other masters, and they didn't understand themselves, and they studied the Manjriya, and they finally understand it. Wow. It doesn't mean that we're the elite. It just means that we have good stuff. There are others with good stuff also. There are other traditions. I'm going in India soon to be a disciple. I just want to be in a temple and pray for 2 weeks. I want to have my me time. So I'm going to another place. I'm going to a Hindu place. I'm just going to go and do my practice. So you see, the elite, this thing that, okay, yeah, the therapy is efficient because, I've heard it so many times. I went to psychologist, and after 10 years, nothing happened. Now I study the emotional integration, and, it took him like 3 days. It was resolved. We hear the stories. But there's also stories of a person that went to the psychologist, and it was resolved. Ta-da! Yeah. I mean, yeah, we are not the elite. What we do is good according to us because the experience seems to be efficient. We're not the only ones with good results. Do you understand that? It is so tempting to say, well, we do the Mahariya stuff and we evolve faster. We start to transmute matter. We start to heal ourselves. If you can change the flavor of water, maybe you can change the poison in your blood. And, there's a lot of health benefits of doing our practice. Why we train transmutation? It's because we have the health benefits. We can just heal the body. It teaches you how to change matter. So you do your influence. The mantras we use, they have an effect. You say, man, it's just like a universal solution for all. No. We're not the elite. I just decided to go through all the stuff that I had access to, got ordained and certified and, congratulated and whatever. I got all these papers like a good New Ager. A good New Ager who takes his Reiki class, his massage class, and his, Mambo Jumbo therapy class, and, how to heal with this kind of product and this kind of thing. I'm a New Ager. I'm a hippie freak. I just didn't have the tinfoil, but I was close. I was close. The tinfoil is around the router at home because I can't stand the microwave, so I do a little cage of tinfoil. It can still breathe, so it doesn't burn, but yeah. So I'm a tinfoil gal. You look, it's the router. Okay, so it is efficient what we do because I decided to just go through it. And instead of just a Reiki class, okay, I'm going to be, ordained as a Catholic priest. I'm going to do that. I'm a Swami. I went all the freaking deep end of spirituality. And everything that they say that is identical must be right. And everything that they say that don't agree must be, depending, it must be conditional or depending on the culture or belief. So maybe it's not that valid. So I take what gives results because that's what we want, right? So I did sort it out. So it works. There are other people who get results. There are other techniques, other brands, other things out there. So we're not the elite. We like what we do. I find it efficient. There's so many people that says that what we do is efficient. Some of you are those people that so you do it. But you must not fall in the trap of the arrogance of the human ego. No. I've got the best solution. Yeah? You could easily present the Mahariya to someone. I have a very good solution, something that worked for me. And that's it. That's humble. That's simple. Oh, I got the best. No, seriously. Your acupuncture, you don't understand. You have to meet these guys. It has nothing. You go into this comparison thing. Do you understand? Avoid that, because that's what a cult does, and we want to avoid that. The master's not always right. It's just cool that he brought things that work, but that's it. Then you have to find out for yourself what you want. You're not chosen. You just happen to know someone who knows someone, and you got here. Dang. It's random or karma, I don't know. But you're not chosen. You're just, lucky enough. Maybe. And we're not the elite. Okay? The 3 traps of a cult. Don't do it. Or else we lose our mind. And you'll realize it's so tempting to try to convince someone else that, they have to come to the next seminar. No, they don't have to. Keep suggesting if you believe it's good for them, but that's it. They don't want to come to the seminar, so just tell them. Well, okay, how do you feel now? Okay, just go and tell them. They don't want to show up to a seminar. Okay, respect. Because what's the cornerstone of Mahariya? Freedom. If someone doesn't want to go to one of those hippie Buddhist circle freak class, just freaking respect them. Freedom applies not only to you, but the others. One day they'll see you so happy and they'll look at themselves still depressed and say, okay, what's your trick? Just tell me, because I remember when you were in shit as I am and now you're not. So what's going on? They will talk. Word of mouth, you say it like that, huh? Word of mouth. Because in Spanish it's mouth to mouth, which I find really weird. Like open wide, oh, it doesn't. Okay, boca a boca. Yeah, it's mouth to mouth. That's something you do when you love someone or try to revive them in English. But in Spanish. Anyway, so word of mouth. This is how the Mashiach gets known. So people talk, and they like it. Because then you go home, and for 6 months or 1 year, you're not going to hear from us. You're not going to give us your paycheck. You're not going to depend on us. You're just going to be on your own. It's not a cult. It's a school. Then you go home and you live your life. Oh, unless you want to take classes, then it's your choice. Then you go weekly on the weekly class, and because it's cool. And when you want to stop, you stop. And then your teacher, because he wants the money, tries to convince you to keep going. And I'm saying, teacher, lose the fucking money. Respect their choice. Yeah, don't be greedy about it. Don't control your students. You want more students? Do more marketing. Don't try to control or manipulate students that decided they want to have a break from that. Respect it. You want more students? Find more students. That's it. It's just work on it. Do a Reiki fair here. Do a powwow. Do a day of Buddhism. All day, 4 masters get together and teach stuff for free. To get people to try it for free, like a free sample in the mail. Little mini soap for the clothing in the mail. You remember that? We used to get samples by mail. Give a sample. Go ahead. There's ways to do it, but always respecting the others. Yeah, that's also all the class about Swasthya. I am complete. And that means the others are complete. And if you understand the philosophy behind Swasthya, we can't become a cult. We will remain a respectful school based on freedom. Because that's Swasthya. If I'm complete, the other's complete. And we're all in this world together. Damn, that's a class of Swasthya. Yeah, I like it. Peace. See you in 3 hours or at 3 El Paso time. And there's only 1 class left, not 2. And yeah, it is what it is.